Hello, and welcome back to IASA Sound Bytes. I'm Darin Reffitt, the volunteer chair of IASA's eLearning committee and the director of product marketing excellence with Guidewire Software. And today, I'm joined by ethics expert Robert Byrd, professor of business law and the Eversource Energy Chair in business ethics at the University of Connecticut. Robert is also the co-director of the Certificate in Corporate and Regulatory Compliance. Robert has authored over 60 publications, including articles in the Journal of Law and Economics, American Business Law Journal, the Harvard Journal of Law and Public Policy, and he's currently the president of the Academy of Legal Studies in Business, the international academic organization for professors of business law. Robert, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
So Robert, I'm very intrigued by the topic of your IASA Xchange Lite session, overcoming your own biases to make better ethical decisions. I guess the big question I have is, what causes people to start down the path of making questionable decisions in the first place?
There are at least 4 reasons why individuals are vulnerable to ethical biases in organizations. The first reason is that individuals often work in groups. When individuals work in groups, credit for success or blame for failure is shared, and generally individuals have a habit of distorting their positive contributions and minimizing their negative ones. And when the success of a group can be shared amongst individual people, each individual will take the greater credit for the group's activities. Second, possessing imperfect information. People working in organizations only have the information that's in front of them in order to make decisions. As a result, if they lack information, they may fill the gaps in with ethical biases. In addition, business people need to know the legal environment of business. They need to know how laws work in their organization and how to avoid legal liability. Laws are, in essence, codified ethical principles. What is unethical today is often illegal tomorrow, and knowing the legal environment of business can help you not only avoid legal violations, but also ethical breaches. Third, acting under pressure. Many organizations act under persistent and constant pressure. Employees that are pressured are going to take shortcuts, and those shortcuts are perfect opportunities for ethical biases to slip in and bad decisions to result. Finally, employees often act toward non-immediate goals. Goals that are immediate occur and end quite quickly. Goals that perhaps end in a month, 2 months, 3 months, or a year take a lot longer to finish, and biases can creep in as to what these goals are and the means we need to get there. We tend to overvalue the today and undervalue the tomorrow. The far more distant the goal, the more likely we're going to use ethical biases and shortcuts.
Wow, that's a really interesting perspective. I mean, it's definitely a slippery slope. And we all know that what gets measured is what's going to get our attention, right? The big question is, what can companies actually do to ensure that their teams don't start down that slippery slope?
There are many things a company can do and individuals can do in an organization to try to deter ethical biases. But one of the most important things that companies can do is to encourage a speak-up culture. A culture where employees automatically conform to managerial decisions, a culture where employees don't ask critical questions, is a dangerous culture and one that is bound for unethical behavior and legal violations. You want to allow your employees to speak up. You want to allow your employees to dissent and make disagreements in order to have a genuine decision that is fully supported by the members of the group or the organization. Employees should be able to report when they see breaches in compliance or breaches in ethical behavior to someone and not fear retaliation. Having a speak-up culture where employees feel as though they are empowered to protect the company and feel empowered to speak out when they see unethical behavior is a key driver in ensuring these ethical biases don't creep into organizations.
Yeah, like so many things, it always comes back to corporate culture. Robert, thank you so much again for joining us. As I mentioned earlier, Robert will be presenting the session Overcoming Your Own Biases to Make Better Ethical Decisions at IASA Xchange Lite, which is coming soon. And you can learn more about that event at iasa.org/exchangelite. I hope you enjoyed this video, and once again, welcome your feedback. If you have questions you'd like for us to cover in future editions of Sound Bytes, you can tweet at me at DMReffitt. You can tweet at IASA at IASA Inc., or you can also email me at dreffitt@guidewire.com. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Sound Bytes.